Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So today I want to show you our presentation about the role of national and regional figures in maintaining the integrity of the Indonesian state and nation in the period 1945 until 1965. But first, let us introduce ourselves.
Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Haikal Ramadan from class 12 Social Science 3 with absent number 18.
Hello everyone, my name is Yehuda Besjuel, number 34, and I'm from 12 IPS 3.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Rahmadina Walia Nur Said from 12 Social 3, absence 23.
Hello everyone. My name is Safwa Kanista from 12 Social 3, absent number 31.
The title of hero is earned by giving to both national and national figures who belong to the region of service to the state. Recommendations for title giving, merit, and honor are also presented by individual, state agencies, ministers, non-state, local governments, organizations, or community groups. Even if that's the case, there are requirements that must be met for being a national hero. There are some general requirements for a title of hero are an Indonesian citizen or someone fighting in a region that is now Republic of Indonesia, moral integrity and exemplary behavior, service to nation and country, be good, loyal and not betray nation and country, and never convicted of a prison sentence based on a court ruling that had obtained a permanent power of law for committing a felony that was threatened with a prison sentence of at least 5 years.
Specifically, there is also a requirement for the title of hero. First, have led and carried out armed struggles or political struggles or struggles in other areas to achieve, reclaim, maintain, and feel independence and bring about unity and unity of nation. Second, never give up in the fight. Third, a period of devotion and struggle that lasts most of his life and accept the assignment. Fourth, at one time gave birth to great ideas or thoughts that could support the building up of nation and state. And the last is once produced great works that benefited the welfare of the general public or increased national dignity and dignity. First, Franz Kaisiepo. Franz Kaisiepo, born in Biak, October 10, 1921, a figure who popularized the song Indonesia Raya in Papua just before Indonesia's independence. Contribution of Franz Kaisiepo from 1921 until 1979 played a role in the founding of the Party of the Free Indonesia Party or PIM on 10 May 1946. In 1946, Kaisiepo became a member of the Papuan delegation at the Malino Conference in South Sulawesi, where he briefly referred to Papua or Netherlands New Guinea as Irian, which is said to have been taken from the Biak language and means hot area. However, the word Irian gave another meaning. Join the Republic of Indonesia anti-Netherlands. In the last half of the year, in the 1960s, Kaisiepo tried to make the People's Opinion Determination or PEPERA a win for the people who wanted Papua to join Indonesia. The process finally determined Papua to be part of the Republic of Indonesia.
Now I will present about the 9th Sultan Hamengkubuwono. In 1940, when the 9th Sultan Hamengkubuwono was crowned the King of Yogyakarta, he firmly showed his nationalism. Starting on 19 August, the Sultan sent a congratulatory telegram to Soekarno-Hatta on the formation of the Republic of Indonesia. and the election of Soekarno-Hatta as president and vice president. On August 20, the following day, via telegram again, the Sultan firmly stated that he stood behind the elected president and vice president, and finally on September 5, 1945, the ninth Sultan Hamengkubuwono gave the mandate that the first Ngayogyakarta Hadiningrat, which is royal in nature, is a special area of the Republic of Indonesia, and then all domestic power in Ngayogyakarta Hadiningrat and government affairs are in the hands of Hamengkubuwono IX. And the last one is the relationship between Ngayogyakarta Hadiningrat and the government of the Republic of Indonesia is direct, and Sultan Hamengkubuwono is responsible to President of the Republic of Indonesia.
Third, Ismail Marzuki. Ismail Marzuki, born in Jakarta. Ismail Marzuki comes from a family of artists. At the age of 17, he managed to compose his first song entitled O Sarina. In 1736, Ismail Marzuki joined the Live Java Music Association and had the opportunity to perform music broadcast on the radio. The songs created by Ismail Marzuki are very much colored by the spirit of his love for the homeland. Family background, education, and association are what instill a feeling of the same faith and share in the suffering of the nation. When RRI was controlled by the Dutch in 1747, for example, Ismail Marzuki, who was previously active in a radio orchestra, decided to leave because he did not want to cooperate with the Dutch. When RRI was taken over by the Republic, he just wanted to return to work there.
Fourth, Silas Papare. Silas Papare was born in Serui, Irian Jaya on December 18, 1918, forming the Independent Indonesia Committee in September 1945. The aim was to gather strength and regulate the movement of the struggle in defending the proclamation of August 17, 1945. In December of the same year, Silas Papare and Martin Inde was considered to have influenced the Papuan battalion formed by the Allies to rebel against the Dutch. As a result, they were both arrested by the Dutch and imprisoned in Holland, Jayapura. Silas Papare founded the Irian Independence Party, then arrested and again imprisoned, this time in Biak. This party was then invited by the government of the Republic of Indonesia to Yogyakarta. Silas Papare, who was free, went there and together with his friends formed the Irian Struggle Agency in Yogyakarta. Throughout the 1950s, he worked hard to make Papua a part of the Republic of Indonesia. In 1962, he represented West Irian as a member of the delegation of the Republic of Indonesia in the New York Agreement between Indonesia and the Netherlands in an effort to resolve the Papua issue. Based on this New York Agreement, the Dutch finally agreed to return Papua to Indonesia.
At this time, I will explain Martin Inde. Martin Inde was born in Domina, March 14, 1912 since 1446. Martin Inde has been the chairman of the Free Indonesian Party (PIM). He then led a protest action supported by a delegation of 12 tribal chiefs against the Dutch wish to separate Papua from Indonesia. Inde also began to openly urge members of the military who were not Dutch to launch a resistance against the Dutch. As a result of his increasingly bold political activists. The Dutch government arrested and imprisoned Indy. In 1962, when Martin Indy developed to Papua in the context of the Trikora operation, he left for New York to fight for the entry of Papua into Indonesian territory at the United Nations until finally Papua Irian really become part of the Republic of Indonesia.
Six, Sultan Syarif Qasim II. Sultan Syarif Qasim II, he was crowned King of Siak Indrapura in 1915, when he was 21 years old. He had the attitude that the Siak kingdom was on an equal footing with the Dutch. The various policies that he carried out were often against the wishes of the Dutch. When news of the proclamation of Indonesian independence reached Siak, Sultan Syarif Qasim II immediately sent a letter to Soekarno-Hatta, expressing loyalty and support for the government of the Republic of Indonesia and handing over assets worth 13 million guilders to help the struggle of the Republic of Indonesia. In 2014, this figure was equivalent to 1.47 trillion rupiah. He formed the Indonesian National Committee in Siak, the People's Security Army, and the Barisan Pemuda Republik. He also immediately held a general meeting at the palace and raised the red and white flag and invited other kings in East Sumatra to take part in the side of the republic. When the independence revolution broke out, he was active in supplying food for the Laskar. He also again handed over 30% of his wealth in the form of gold to President Sukarno in Yogyakarta for the sake of the struggle. When Van Mook, the de facto governor-general of the Dutch East Indies, appointed him the puppet sultan of the Netherlands, Sultan Syarif Qasim II of course refused. He still chose to join the government of the Republic of Indonesia.
This time I will explain Opu Daeng Risaju. Opu Daeng Risaju, born in Palopo in 1880, he is a close descendant of the Lu royal family. Since childhood, Opu Daeng Risaju never entered a Western education public school. Even though he belongs to a noble family, it can be said Opu Daeng Risaju is a Latin illiterate. He can read by self-study which is guided by his brother who has attended public school. Opu Daeng Risaju, a female factor figure who became a pioneer of the movement and became active in the Indonesian Islamic Serikat Party (PSII) organization in Palopo, which opposed colonialism, which was officially formed on January 14, 1930 through a grand meeting which took place in Palopo Old Market, now Landau Road. She was willing to leave her nobility title and had to be thrown into prison by the Dutch and had to divorce her husband who could not accept her activism. His spirit of resistance to see his people out of the grip of colonialism made him willing to sacrifice himself.